Hi everyone, so I've got a bit of a different video for you today. In a way, it's a craft haul, but it's with products that you know, but other products that I don't normally buy. So I just thought I'd go through them. So first of all, I'm going to show you some CocoRosa Studio dies that I bought recently, and then we're going to move on after that to some products which you are very interested in buying because they are fantastic. So stay tuned for those. So first of all, let's get into the dies. Hi everyone, so I want to do a little video just to show you my fourth order with CocoRosa Studio. So I'm going to go through these cards in a minute and show you exactly which dies I've used. But if we start with, we'll start with this die, which is a nativity scene die. So this die here, so it's a bit similar to the one I had before, but I really liked it because of the size of it. I like the little palm trees and the star. Great for a kind of silhouette-y type card. So with that die, I went and made a shaker card. So this is the card I made. Apologies for the bit of a dodgy lighting. The sun's just come out. It's the afternoon, and so that means it's all over my desk. But obviously the sun on my desk is not good. And if I shut the curtain, it's too dark. So I've got my ring light on, which just means the light's not great. But yeah, so that's the card I've done. So that's using that one. Now this die, let me give you all the measurements. This die measures 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall. So that's quite a decent size. Now in the UK that's not a typical card size, but it's fine. I've just gone ahead and made a 5 by 7 card with it. So yeah, so that's that one. Next up we've got this die, which again cuts out a panel, but I really like the little circles. I was like, oh, there's lots of things I can do with that. So I've actually used this die, and I've actually teamed it up with one of the other dies, which I'll show you in a minute. But I'm just going to show you the main, obviously, feature for this one. So this is what I've made with this one. And this is obviously, this is going to be like an easel card. So it will stand up like that. Obviously, there's your side profile. So that's that one. But it's really nice because obviously whatever you've put at the back, that's what you can have peering through. And that leads us on nicely to these. Before I do that, let me tell you how big this one is. So this die measures 2.5 inches wide and 5.5 inches tall. So that's the measurements of this one. So then these little flowers came out of another set. So I'm going to show you those now, and I'm going to show you another card that I've made with those. Okay, so this is the set. So it's only a small little set that I got, but I quite like it because it's small. You can use it on certain things, like I did on that one just there with the small poinsettia. So the very small poinsettia measures at its widest point. It's about 1 1/4. The bells, you get a small bell, which is about 3/4 of an inch by 1/2 an inch. And you get a large bell, which is about 7/8 by 7/8 roughly. And then you get these little leaf things. Now again, these leafy bits is about 1 1/4 wide, tall even. This one's about 1 1/2. Then you've got a big holly leaf that's about 1 inch, and a small holly leaf that's about maybe 3/4 of an inch. So that's those. I also bought a set of 3 trees. So these are my little trees that I bought. Set of 3. I did think these were going to be bigger when I bought them. However, I'm quite glad they are the size they are because it actually works really well on cards. So this largest tree is 2 3/4 by 1 inch, almost 1 1/2 inches. The next size down is 1 1/2 by about 3/4, and the smallest one is about 1 inch wide by about 1/2 an inch. Sorry, 1 inch tall by about 1/2 an inch wide. And what I've done is I've made this card with it. So this is the one, and as you can see, I've got my poinsettias here. Let me just try and make it so you can actually see it. My poinsettias there, and then here are my trees. And so that's there's another poinsettia there, and I've used a little holly leaves behind the poinsettias there. So that's that set. Next up, we've got this set here, which is like a set of little leaves. And this card, I made this, with these dies I made this card, so I just made it into a little wreath, cut them all out of glitter card, and so that's those. And they all measure, I mean approximately, I'm not going to measure them all, but they're all approximately about 1.5 inches long, 1.5 inches maybe, something along those lines. They're not that, you know, they're about the decent size for what you're going to need them for, because you're not going to need big old leaves. So that's that set. And then last but not least is this set here, which is it came with, and you can see some of the other ones on it because I've just put it on the same page, but you get 1, 2, 3, 4 baubles, a happy Christmas, some little strings, and then you get these little tiny dies that go on top of the string, so you can have the string in one colour and then have these in another colour. You also get a little bow as well, which can go on top of the baubles. So this is this. So the card I made with this is this one, which is my double spanner card. You will see a tutorial for this coming up soon. Can't really show it off properly, that's kind of what it looks like from the top, but from the front, but yeah, just so you can have an idea of what the baubles look like. So as you can see, they're really nice baubles. The size of them, they're approximately 1 3/4 high by about 1.5 wide, and then these strings, I actually had to cut them off. The strings themselves are about 5.5 inches tall. So these strings are about 5.5 inches tall. So yes, I've just cut those out. And then the Happy Christmas as well. The Happy Christmas measures, it's about 3 inches by 1 1/4, something like that. So yeah, so that's those dies. So as you can see, there's some really nice dies. Now I'll put links to all of these dies down below, so you can go and have a look. But yeah, these are the ones that I've gone, and also I shall try and put a link down below as well to the page with all the dies that I ordered on them, because CocoRosa have helpfully gone and done that for me, so at least then you can see, you know, which ones it is I've done. So hopefully you like them. Okay, so next up, I'm going to show you some markers that I bought. Now, these aren't just markers. These are Aqua markers. Now, these, and as you can see, I got quite a few. These were from B&M. Now, I saw these in B&M and thought, what are they going to be like? 10 markers for £6. So these are like the tonal ones. So these were 10 markers for £6, but they also do a set of 50 that was how much was this? 20 quid? I think it was 20 quid, this one. So not bad at all, really not bad. So I didn't buy this to start with. Originally I just bought these, and I bought 3 sets to start with. I came home, had a bit of a play with them, and then went back and bought the rest of them because they are very good indeed. I was very impressed. So these are all the colours that you get. So they have like a, as I said, like a tonal one. So this is all like your browns. So you've got like your tawny, your stone grey, grain, old rose, dark old rose, choco brown, dark wood, warm grey, 6 warm grey, 9 and black. So this is kind of like your flesh tones and that kind of colour. Okay. Then going next up colour wise, you've got this, which is like your orange and browns and more flesh tones. You've got pastel mellow yellow, peaches and creams, papaya, mustard, orange ochre, bright apricot, bright orange, warm old pink, neon coral and terra. So that's that one. Then if we go more into the pinks, you've got this one, which is your blossom powder, pastel violet, old pink, dark old pink, cosmos, warm fuchsia, neon deep pink, fuchsia and deep red and old red. So that's that. Into the purples, you've got your grey lilac, amethyst, ultraviolet, electric purple, purple mauve, plum, light denim blue, lavender fog, midi denim blue, and dark indigo. And then going into more of the blues, you've got this one, which is quite nice for like aqua colours. So you've got light sky, green, grey 1, cool mint, neo mint, teal blue, teal grey, midi sky, dark sky, green grey 5, and green grey 7. And then last but not least, you've got the greens. So you've got pineapple, which is actually a yellow, golden yellow, which is more of an orangey colour, and then you're into greens. So apple green, matcha tea, weeds green, 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 is that GG? Green, green sage, don't know. Maybe grey green sage, seaweed green, another one, a darker one, a green sage, and a dark forest green. So that's what you get with those. Now, what I did with this lot, I actually swatched all these because I bought these first. I did actually swatch them. I'm going to show you the swatch and then I'm going to show you how they come, and you get a bit of a clue here, but you actually get your own stackable storage box with them as well. Now, I bought this with my own money. I'm not getting any kind of commission. These weren't free. These are just my own recommendation because I bought them and I wanted to share them with you because they are really cool. Now, as you know as well, I'm not really a stampy colory type person, but I thought they might be really fun for colouring in die cuts and things like that, and also for backgrounds, stuff like that. I just thought they might be quite useful, and I have used them. I'll show you some of the ways I've used them in a minute. I haven't had a lot of time to play, but I'll show you with what I have done. So that's those. So let me show you the swatches that I've done based on these 6 sets of 10. Okay, so this is the swatches that I started to do. Now, this was something I saw, and I will put the name of the lady I saw do it up on the screen because I can't remember off the top of my head. But she also reviewed these markers and showed some cool ways of doing like flowers, making like little flowers. So I will show you those. I will put that up. I'll try and put a link in the description below to the video that I saw. But these are some of the ones, you know, from the boxes. I've swatched them out and I've just done them. So you've got like a little dot, and then I've just watered, making like a little petal. And then when it's dry, I've gone back over it again with some lines and then gone back over with water. And so this just shows you, you know, how well you can, you know, what you can do with them. And also just shows how well, like for example, this one here really does take the water, whereas some of the others don't so much. You still end up with lines. Yeah, but they're quite nice. And obviously you could go a bit further, you could add a bit more colour in if you want to, but I just wanted to kind of swatch them out so you can kind of see, I know roughly what colours they are. So also on top of that then, I also bought this set here. Now this set, I wasn't sure how many duplicates there would be, and I'm a bit confused because one of my craft ladies, well, a couple of my craft ladies also bought this set and also the set of the 6 sets of 10. One lady didn't have that many duplicates, but I ended up with like 14 duplicates, which is quite a lot. But I have to say, the duplicates that you do end up with are colours that you kind of are going to use. So black was a duplicate, for example. I think the old rose was a duplicate. There was some, what else was there? There was quite a few anyway. You'll see in a minute when I show you them in their box, you know, in their set. You'll see what I mean. But there was quite a few duplicates. Okay, so here's the set. So these are the sets. Now, each of the set of 10 come like this. So they come in their own little storage box. And see these little holes here? On one side they're little holes, and on the other side are these little square ridgy things, and they fit in. So they actually stack together like that. So then this then stands up. So up to here, this is all what I got, you know, not the markers, but the storage packs. And then this is one complete solid section, as you can see, and that was the set of 50. So what I've done is I've actually gone through, and I didn't leave them in their sets. I've actually gone through and I've just kind of coloured them. So it would be that way around, but you can't quite fit it in the screen. But I've gone through and I've actually coloured, colour coordinated them. But yeah, they're decent markers. So you can see here, like I've got 2 of this warm fuchsia, for example. I've got 2 of this fuchsia, but again, I use lots of pinks anyway, so that's fine. Got 2 of the purple mauve, 2 of the, well, this is 154, 154. One's called amethyst and one called ultraviolet, so I was a bit confused about that. But anyway, I don't know. And then I've got 2 of, what else have I got 2 of? There's a few that I've got 2 of, to be honest. I counted 14 duplicates, 2 blacks, 2 of the dark old rows, 2 of the old rows. See again here, they look the same. We've got 269 number 34, so they're probably not the same, I'm not sure. But yeah, but they're really nice. So if I just take, I'm just going to take like the old red, for example. Let me find it, old red. This top bit here. So here's an old red. So they are quite square, but what's nice about them is you have a fine end. Oh, there's your fine end. And then you also have on the other side, oh, sorry, a brush end as well. Okay, so that's the difference with them. And actually, I find the brush end is nicer to use, but then the fine is really nice and fine if you want to go over things, you know, outline things and whatever. But yeah, they work really well. So I'm going to show you now quickly some of the ideas that I've seen online and just different ways of using them, because I just found them really good. Okay, so I went ahead and used, and it really changed as well, that the watercolour paper you use will make a difference as to how well they blend. So just have a play around. Mine weren't blending quite as well. Well, some of the colours weren't blending quite as well as I'd seen other people on YouTube, you know, theirs blended. But I think it's just the different paper you use. You really do need to use watercolour paper. So this was a little flower I made, and I was really impressed with this because I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination. And so this was made using that lady that I will put the link for the description, you know, for the video on. But I'm just going to quickly show you now how she did it. So basically, I took the brush side, and initially we did three little dots in a little triangle like that. And then you get your brush. Now I'm using one of these ones with the water chamber, but obviously if you want to, you can use just normal water, you know, in a jar, whatever. And then what I do is just squeeze a little bit down, and then just take it and make your petal shape like that. Same with this one. Make your petal shape. These aren't very good, not very even petals, but anyway, whatever. It's just so you can see what I mean. But you can really quickly make a flower, you know, relatively simply. You don't have to be a great artist to do this. So anyway, you can see mine aren't very even, which exactly proves what I'm saying. Just get rid of all the thing. Right, so that's the start of it. So I'm going to let that dry. Now, it should be more equal than that, but anyway. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to put another one in, another one in, another one in, and make it into a 5 or 6, whatever. But yeah, so you can see how they work. I'll come back to that in a minute. The other way of doing it was I was thinking about using die cuts. Now, that wasn't a very successful one. That was a bit more successful, but I was thinking about, you know, taking like a die cut, like a flower die cut, and then maybe getting your brush marker. And what you could do is you could just do a thing at the end. So you could put like a one at the base of each of the flowers like this, and then just bringing your watercolor in, and then get it to just, you know what I mean, fill that whole petal up like that, and just keep doing that for each one. Now I think what would probably be better would be to do it before, maybe with a stamp or something. If you've got like a stamp and die combo, is to stamp it first and then die cut it, because you do end up with a little bit of a meniscus on the edge of the petal. So that's the only thing I would say. I've worked out you don't really get to the edge, you end up with a white bit on the edge because your thing doesn't go all the way to the edge. But it's, you know, it's an idea. I mean, even if you did one flower and then just maybe just roughly drew around it, so you onto a bit of paper, so you'd know where it was, then you could just cut them out. That was the other thing, possibly. So something like that, and then if we just merge all this in the middle, like that, and then when that's dried a little bit more, we can go back in with a fine liner, or we can add more colour in, because again, that at the moment doesn't look the best, but you can make it look reasonable. So that's that. I'm going to just shift it off to one side. The other thing as well was by just putting lines on as well. That was another possibility. So if you just kind of like do some lines with the fine line, so this is the fine edge, not the mark a bit. Like this. And then we come in with the marker, with the paintbrush. And again, you have to excuse my rough way of doing. I'm not a watercolorer. I did do art A level, but that was many years ago now, and I have forgotten all that I learnt. Plus, I didn't really do painting. I mean, I did watercolour, I suppose, but yeah, it was a long time ago. Put it that way. So I'm just going to add some more here and then here. And actually, that's probably my favourite out of all the flowers so far, I think. Okay, so something along those lines anyway. But yeah, as you can see, I'm not the best. But when it dries, you can have a go with it. I'm not going to pick it up because it's all wobbly. But yeah, so that's the idea. So that was what I found. And I just thought they were really good. And I thought they were a bit of a bargain for what they are. And they blend nicely. As I said, with the fine liner, you do end up with some of the colours. You end up with more of a, you know, I mean, that one's not dry yet, but like this one here, I was really impressed with that, the way it came out. So yeah, so that's just an idea for you. So that is the Aqua markers. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Anyway, I hope you will have a go. Maybe go and check out these markers. I will be using these in videos coming up. Yeah. So hopefully you have a go. Please excuse my finger. My panther kitten decided to swipe me. So I've got a nice little cut going all the way across there like that. Because she was literally hanging on with her claws onto my finger. All of her weight went down. Yeah, was hanging onto my finger. So that's why I've got a plaster on. So you'd have to bear with me. But yeah, please like, subscribe, leave a notification. Leave a comment down below. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And we will see you next time. Bye.